Okay, very good evening. So in continuation with the last class that we have created a web server, today we are going to create an icon. So from the same web server, we are going to create an icon for controlling our home appliances. Okay, so yesterday it is a simple icon we created, and in addition we will be continuing with the same. Okay, so here in this code we are going to include our ESP8266 Wi-Fi as usual. So this is mandatory to connect to your IoT device to the internet. Okay, so because the node MCU has a Wi-Fi feature, directly it will communicate the data to the cloud as well. Okay, by providing the cloud data we can able to communicate, but here in our case we are going to use our cloud as a web server. Okay, from the web server we will get a controlling input, and based upon the controlling input we will operate the home appliances available that is connected with your node MCU device. Okay, so for that we are using this ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h library, and whenever you are installing this ESP8266 board, this particular library is inbuilt and it is available. Okay, and next one is you have to define one SSID and password in order to provide an Wi-Fi connectivity for your node MCU. You have to connect with any Wi-Fi router through some SSID and a password. So here my Wi-Fi access ID will be my mobile phone's hotspot, so I have named it as Life with IoT, and that's my username, and the password will be simply I have set 128. And next one is a web server. So whenever it is start communicating through a server, it needs to communicate through a port, that is default port is 80, that you have to mention. So web server, I'm just creating one variable called server, and I'm going to use an header variable, so it is in string format. So whatever the communication that is received from the web server has to be accumulated in the variable. So I'm creating one variable called header in this string format. Okay, so whenever this HTTP request is received, then it will be stored in this variable. And next one is I'm defining some state of my output variable. So for example, if I'm going to control two home appliances in my home, then I need to define two LED status. Okay, so two appliances status. So probably D1 pin and D0 pin D2 pin I'm going to connect. So D1 pin will be otherwise represented as pin number 5 in GPIO, and D2 pin will be pin number 4 in GPIO. So I'm going to connect my D1 and D2 here for communicating with the home appliances. Okay, so I'm just initializing that the state of the device will be in off mode. Okay, so both the device state will be off mode, and next I'm going to declare my pins, and for output 5 I'm just declaring it with D1 pin, and for output 4 I am declaring it with D2 pin. Okay, so it is obvious you can change anything. Okay, so according to your need you can change any pins in your node MCU. Next one is the setup code. So inside the setup code, whatever we write, it will execute only once. So most probably we will define the pins, and we will initialize the pins for your node MCU, and then we will be giving some connectivity code for internet connection. Okay, and here we will start. So serial begin will be setting the baud rate in order to understand what is happening inside this program. If you want to see it in the serial monitor, then you have to use a specific baud rate. So suggested baud rate is 1,15,200, so that you have to use it here. And next one is pin mode. So two pins I am going to use, D1 as well as D0, both are in the controlling state, so it will be in the output format. So output 5 will be output mode, and output 4 will be output mode again. And next one is set outputs. Initially, if you want to start up this particular automation mode, your devices has to be in switched off mode. Okay, for example, if you're going to connect your home appliances like LEDs or lights or fans to your node MCU, then initially it has to be switched off, and then only we have to automate. Okay, so if it is initial stage itself it is turned on, then it is not required, because some precise equipments will be in trouble situation. Okay, suddenly if you turn on or suddenly if you turn off, it will become a problem. So whenever it is initializing, you have to ensure that the device will be in off state. Okay, so for that I am declaring this pin number of D1 as low, D2 as low. It means it will be turned off at the initial stage. So it is communicated through digital write, so both the device will be turned off. Next one is you are going to try connect it to your hotspot. So for that I am just mentioning in the serial pointer that connecting to which particular hotspot that I am trying to connect. Okay, that I am printing in the serial monitor via the serial.println SSID command. Okay, so SSID that we have mentioned in the above line. And next one is a Wi-Fi begin. So this particular function will allow you to connect with your hotspot. Okay, so you have given your hotspot username and the password, so that it will establish a connection between your node MCU and to the internet. And next one is a checking whether your connection is established or not. You are checking. Suppose if the Wi-Fi status is not connected, okay, not equal to connected, then you have to print a dot symbols in the serial monitor. It means that it is trying to connect. So until the connection is established, this process will be repeated. Once if the connection is established, then this particular function will fail. Okay, suppose if this function fails, it will come out of this while loop. Now it will print a new line, and again it will say that Wi-Fi is connected. And after that it will print the IP address. So the IP address may be denoted by the IP character IP address colon, and again you will be printing the IP address value. So Wi-Fi.local IP is the function which will give you the IP address of the device that is connected to your hotspot. Next one is a server begin. So you have to start your server. Okay, so up to this you have a setup coding. This has to be run only once when you are resetting your node MCU or you are powering your node MCU. This process has to be run only one time. And second one is loop coding. So now we have to look for the client in your web server. So whenever there is a client available, then you have to take that communication and you have to make changes in the home appliances according to the instructions given. Okay, so for that we are going to create a variable Wi-Fi client where the variable name is a client, and here we will be posting that server.available functions return value. Okay, suppose if the server.available function is returning some incoming client inputs, then automatically it will be stored in the client variable. Okay, and we will be checking that whether the client is available or not. If there is a client available, definitely it will store some values in the client. So whenever you are checking with if condition, then it will become a true. So whenever there is a new client available, we will get a true condition here. Suppose when you are looking for a new client through this function, that is server.available, if there is no client available, then false condition may be stored in the client, and so this particular if condition will not be executed. Simply it will end up your program, and again it will look for the new client. Okay, so this is the end of your program. So the if condition is throughout the program. So only if your client is available, this if condition will start. Otherwise entire process will not done. Simply it will skip the loop. Again it will look for the server availability. Okay, so that's a specialty. So you can expand the code now. So now we will be printing that there is a new client available in the serial monitor. This is for our understanding. And we will be saying that what is a current line. Okay, so current line will be we are going to create one variable with the string format. So we are assigned with some empty quotes. So now we will be checking whether the client is connected or not. Okay, so server is available or not, first we are checking. Once if the server is available, whether the client is properly connected, we have to ensure. Then only we can get the communication. So for that I am putting one while loop, and inside I am checking this function client.connected. If client.connected is worked, then it will do all these operations. Otherwise it will come into the client stop function and it will disconnect your client. Okay, so now we will expand. So once if your client is connected, then we will be checking for another one if condition, so client is available or not. If now also it will true. So if it is true, then we will be reading that client input. Okay, so by using the command called client.read, we will be reading that commands whichever is received from your client, and we will be storing it in the character variable C. Now we will be writing this character variable serial in the serial monitor. So serial dot write, in the sense we will be seeing that in through your server. Now this will be appended with your header variable. Already we have created one string variable called header. So in this header we will be appending all these data that is the client input may be appended. And next one, we will be checking whether the read variable has any new line character or not. Okay, if there is a new line character, then we have to stop that particular reading process, and we have to execute on the incoming commands. Now we will be checking that current line length. Okay, so what is the size of your length we will be checking. Suppose if it is not equal to 0, then we will be proceeding. Okay, if it is equal to 0, then we will be doing this particular operation. So client.println, again your HTML code starts from here. So whenever you want to write a HTML code inside your Node MCU, then you have to add this particular line, client.println open bracket, then double quotes, then you have to write your HTML code, and while completing that line you have to end up with the double quotes, the closing bracket, and a semicolon. This is common for all the number of lines which you are trying to design your HTML code. Okay, and HTTP 1.0 version you will be starting, and the content type will be HTML, and connection will be closed connection. Now we will be adding another one new line, and we will be reading that header index. Okay, so header index, and we will be getting that command through get variable. Okay, so if it is get variable, probably you can see what is happening in the URL itself. Okay, whether they have pressed on button or off button, that you can clearly see in the URL itself. Okay, so here I am mentioning that pin number 5, that is GPIO pin number 5, will be turned on. Suppose if it is true, then in serial monitor I am telling that the GPIO pin will be turned on, and also my output state will be in on state, because in our web browser that may not be knowing what is the present state of my home appliances is. Okay, so for that from here I am just giving an updation to my server through this state variable. Okay, so this is a string variable where I am writing it as on, so that this state variable may be updated with on state now. And the digital write will communicate your Node MCU that to turn on one particular home appliances. Suppose if I am connecting my bulb to LED D1 pin, then that will be set as high. It means it will be turned on. Now suppose if my received command is off, then what will happen means the else if condition may be executed. So the header.read index of function will compare your received variable through the get command. We are getting that input, and pin number 5 will be in off state. So this particular variable or the communication we will get from your server, and this will be whether it is greater than or equal to 0 we are checking. So suppose if it is true, then automatically we will be turning off your bulb. So for that I am just printing it in the serial monitor as GPIO pin will be in off mode, and the state of this GPIO will be off. This is for communicating to your server, web server. And next one is the digital write command, and in the through this digital write command we will be writing that device pin as low. Okay, it means that it will turn off that particular light. So whatever the command you write through digital write, it will make your device to turn on or turn off by using your Node MCU pins. So here in this case D1 pin will be allocated for your light, so your light will be turned off now because we are assigning with low voltage. So next one is else if. Now you are looking for some other command. Suppose if your GPIO pin is not turned on or not turned off, but instead you are going to turn on the 4 GPIO pin number 4 in the sense it will go to this particular if else condition, and here we will be again reading that header.index function through that get function. Okay, and we if suppose your command is like GPIO pin number 4 is turned on, in the sense it will become true. Now we have to turn on your GPIO pin number 4, and you have to update that GPIO output state of 4th pin is on, and you have to communicate your fan that it has to be turned on through digital write command. Okay, so digital write of output 4 will be high. Now through the D2 node MCU pin your fan may be turned on. Suppose if it is not turned on, if it is off, in the sense else if command will be executed. So header dot index of get command and 4 will be in off state. If it is true, then GPIO will be off and your output state will be updated as 4. So here it is clearly mentioned that what is the GPIO pin number, the status of your GPIO pin number. So here it is 5 and here it will be 4. And next one is a digital write, where you are writing that particular pin, that is D2 pin, as low voltage, logic 0 value. Automatically turn off your fan. So next one is your HTML description. You are going to begin your HTML code here, and you are going to give some setup functions like viewpoints and your referral link. That is, you are going to create one icon, right? So for that you are giving a href and its data type, and you will be allocating some styles for your button. Okay, so if you want to display it in 2 different colors, then you can use the styles. Okay, simply if you want to change the color, you just paste it in your Google browser, this particular value, it will give you one color. If you want to change some other value from the Google itself, you can copy paste that particular color here, so that this hexadecimal value will change the button color. Okay, so it is up to you. If you wish, you can use this button. Okay, so the specialty here is that a single button will be used for turning on as well as turning off. Once if it is turned on, it will be going in a different color. If it is turned off, it will change into another color. Okay, so here in our case it is brown color and gray color and green color. Okay, for each button we are going to use that, and for that I am just giving the text color values, that is stylish, and